Hello, and thank you for your time while I present to you Cliff's Kids, a community partnership mentorship program by Cliff McManus. Some studies have found that ACEs can implicate the lives of about 50% of our youth, and about 90% of the youth involved in the juvenile justice system do have a history of trauma. While 70% will meet criteria for a clinical diagnosis, 30% of those youth will meet criteria for a PTSD diagnosis. In Oklahoma alone, we are seeing that about 23% of our youth will score higher than a 4 on an ACE assessment. Cliff's Kids must act urgently to implement a program introducing protective approaches through mentor relationships to work against the odds that are stacked against our youth. The innovative design of Cliff's Kids seeks to reduce ACEs by using protective factors in our community through offering guidance and community support. This involves a close partnership with various community agencies, including our local school system and the local and county law enforcement agencies. According to Miller's study conducted in 2013, communities tend to become more cohesive when law enforcement officials are involved in implementing partnerships with community members. The aim is to cultivate a community policing mentality by starting with law enforcement and extending this approach to all members of our community, including children and families. Together, we can build a safer and more connected community. Our local community mental health clinic will serve as the central location for Cliff's Kids operations. Initially, mentors will be recruited as volunteers from local and county law enforcement agencies. Subsequently, other community agencies such as schools and other first responding professions will be slowly introduced. The goal is to establish a system of exchanging referrals between all participating community agencies. Several studies have shown that this approach can be practical when working to reduce ACEs in communities. Cliff's Kids could foster a harmonious community and reduce juvenile crime. In their study, Delicia et al. Highlights the connection between childhood trauma and criminal behavior, while also suggesting that this possibility can be reduced through the implementation of protective social relationships. The first step in our operation will be to recruit volunteers from our local and county law enforcement agencies. Once we have volunteers, we will make connections with mentors and mentees. Then we will eventually expand the program to allow other community agencies to serve as volunteers for mentors. And then finally, we should see a reduction in the ACEs experienced in our community. Cliff's Kids is confident that we can see the third step of this timeline within the first 12 months of our operations. Cliff's Kids will be evaluated through juvenile crimes reports, ACE studies taking place over the course of several years, and of course, client evaluations. The $10,000 that we have requested will go to research and training for future volunteer recruits. $6,000 will go to software that will enable us to conduct high-level security background checks to ensure the safety and well-being of our youth and families. And then $1,000 will be invested for our future financial success and independence through an apparel shop that we plan to sell online. Thank you for listening to my presentation.